We're here to liven this up just a little bit. And again, I first want to say thanks to Sandy for giving us an opportunity to have our 15 minutes of fame. And it is 15 minutes. And that's why I brought John Paul. Many of you probably know who John Paul is. I think Sandy calls him the whiz kid. And it's because he is connected to so many different assets that we have in Macomb County and beyond. And it's a connection that we're having. And so we're glad to be here, but I brought him up on stage because 15 minutes isn't a lot of time to really celebrate and talk about what's going on in Macomb County and to tie it into what we're talking about here with this conference, and it's growing Michigan together. But we're going to try to do the best we can. I'm a fast talker, so is he. I think we're going to give Eminem a run for his money. We're not going to turn this into a rap song, but we're going to do our best job to kind of get you to understand what Macomb County is all about and how it fits into the region and this plan to grow Michigan together. And interesting enough, when I first started as county executive, the big challenge to us was to figure out, okay, what are we all about? What is going on with Macomb County? And if you think about it, what is Macomb County? It's 27 distinct municipalities that make up Macomb County. What is the state of Michigan? 83 counties that make up the state of Michigan. So as a county, we realize there's a lot of assets we bring to the table to help lift up the region. We add value to the region, but we also recognize the region adds value to Macomb. But we needed to get our residents to understand that value they have in the place that they call home, which is precious to all of us. Some of us have those memories or fond memories of where we first were born and raised. We talk about it often. As we get older, we talk a little too much about it with our kids that are bored and don't want to hear our conversation. But the reality is, it's someplace that we feel comfortable with, and many of us do. But the question is, how do we get others to see that place that we call home and see the same value so that we can attract people to want to come there? But Make Macomb Your Home was a kind of I guess our marketing tool that we use that has become a brand that has really been pretty successful over the years.
Mark, I think you're actually spot on when it talks about the whole notion of creating that narrative and telling that story of where you come from. It connects to you, it connects to your friends, it connects to your neighbors. It highlights the strong vibrancy of the neighborhood. It illustrates the opportunities with jobs in your community. And it highlights all those institutions that are part of that partnership that build that sense of community, that sense of pride. And it's fascinating how with the creation of the Make Macomb Your Home brand, we've been able to connect it to all of our partners, not only across Macomb County, but across the region and the state of Michigan also.
And we took that partnership from the local municipalities that wanted to add value. So we worked together to try to figure out how do we grow Macomb County? Because one of the first challenges we had, if you think about 14 years ago, was manufacturing. It was kind of it's a stronghold for us in Macomb County, Southeast Michigan, and it's important. But back 14 years ago, we were challenged thinking, my God, where are these facilities? They're shuttering some of the plants, and some of these manufacturers are going away. So we try to figure out how do we market ourselves and get people to realize there's an importance to manufacturing. Let's double down on it. So we went to the state and had partnerships and conversations with the MEDC to try to figure out how do we do just that? How do we start promoting manufacturing? Because it's far different than what it once was. And today we see manufacturing, this advanced manufacturing, has grown immensely. We have seen incredible support from the region, but also from the state to grow that together. And that was what was important. And today, boy, I'll tell you what, there's more and more companies coming in, thus the challenge we're faced with. Where do we find the people for those jobs that we have created?
Mark, it's that return on the investment, which was absolutely critical with ensuring that we strengthen our competitive advantage in manufacturing, because that not only uplifts the capabilities, that concept to consumer, no one does it better across the globe than here in Southeast Michigan and the state of Michigan. That production legacy that we've had for generations now, whether it's the strength that we have in the automotive, whether where we're seeing being leaders in Industry 4.0 and where industry is going next, but most importantly, it's taking that legacy and getting individuals to explore where those opportunities lie, specifically the work that we do with our educational partners, K through 12, and what we've done with Manufacturing Day.
Yeah, and then we talk about celebrating Manufacturing Day, which is, we call it Manufacturing Day, but it's something that we do on a continuous basis. But I don't know, many people know this, but the work that we have done in advancing manufacturing in Macomb County by working with our K-12 partners and our community college, the greatest two-year institution in the entire country, sorry, Wayne and Oakland. But with that being said, I'm here talking about Macomb County, so I can do that. But with and also recognizing the manufacturers that came to the table. We have more participation from manufacturers and our school districts in Macomb County than anywhere else in the entire country, with the exception of the state of Florida. And so with that being said, it's a proud thing that we designate and talk about, but this should be a statewide initiative that we talk about every year on Manufacturing Day, but continue to push that. And one of the big challenges we had in that industry was specific to defense. And you know I'm big on defense, and I want to thank the Chamber because they are really aligned with us on this. The defense industry, think about that. Here in Southeast Michigan, we make things that protect those who protect us and have been doing it for over a century. That in and of itself is something that's laudable. But the reality is there's a huge economic impact that has here in Southeast Michigan and the state. But we recognize Huntsville, Alabama was targeting us. They were trying to come after us. They were trying to steal our assets. And so what I had to do at that time, then Governor Snyder, I went and had knocked on their door and said, how do we do something different with the MEDC to really focus attention on defense and grow that here in Southeast Michigan? And so they moved the MEDC Defense Center to Macomb County. And with that, we had a strategy, protect and grow. Well, today, almost 10 years later, we come to the realization we're no longer worried about that protecting. Huntsville, they can't carry a candle to us. I mean, they're not even coming close to what we're doing here when it comes to defense, because the growth has been incredible, bringing more companies, more business, and more work and contracts to Macomb County as a result of that working together effort that we had with the state and all of our partners within the industry and even the chamber here.
Mark, $31 billion in this defense supercluster that we've got across the entire state of Michigan. It starts with the installations like Selfridge. It builds to the prime OEMs that are contracting billions of dollars of defense work every single day. And then it really is incubated within the talent and the creativity with that workforce that supports it both on the military side and the civilian side. And the key to the successes that we've had in defense is that we're blurring the lines on the map. It's just not about a win at Selfridge. It's just not about an R&D facility in Oakland. It's just not about building the university talent that we've got throughout the state of Michigan. It's that entire ecosystem that's growing and thriving every single day and leading to another competitive advantage for the state of Michigan.
I think everybody coming together to help try to figure out how do we attract businesses to come here to Southeast Michigan, state of Michigan. We've done a phenomenal job, so much so that we're not worried about defense, we're not worried about manufacturing, but what are we worried about and what are we talking about here today? Finding talent. Where do we find the people to actually take these jobs? And the unfortunate reality is we're trading and we're sitting here, we're competing against one another. People working from Oakland into Macomb and Macomb into Wayne County and St. Clair down into to Oakland or Macomb. And that can't be the way forward. That isn't going to solve the problem. So the question becomes, what do we need to do to move forward to figure out how do we grow people's opportunities or get them to understand the importance of what's happening in Southeast Michigan, or better yet, the entire state of Michigan? And how do we do that together to grow this population? Well, we did something unique, and we reached out to the state of Michigan, and we thought, let's target a specific area, engineering. Because we know there's a lot of engineering jobs in Southeast Michigan, but we focused on Macomb County. And with that, our planning department, JP used to run that planning department under the leadership now of Vicki Rowinski. What they did is they said, you know what, let's target some of these universities across the country where they have this engineering, where they're going to graduate these engineers, but they don't have jobs available. And let's see if we can't market them to get them to see what's going on in Macomb County for a job and more. And I got to tell you, resounding results we've gotten from that so far.
Mark, the successes of the Macomb Talent Attraction Roundtable with the support that we've gotten from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and a number of our partners locally, we have been able to target, as you highlighted, some prestigious universities that are growing that next generation of engineering talent and showcase through unique digital marketing campaign what are the value addages that you come to Macomb County to find a job? What happens when you come to Southeast Michigan to continue your career? How do those opportunities connect into a thriving industry? And it's fascinating, in just the first 4 weeks that this endeavor was started, we had over 1 million digital impressions. That's tens of thousands of job seekers that are engaging the creative talent areas that we've created, not only on Make Macomb Your Home, not only on MacombCov.org, but most importantly, what that's done for us is that's folks that are graduating from UCLA, that's Texas A&M, that's Georgia Tech, that's MIT, that's Purdue University. Students trying to find out where their careers are going next, actively clicking content online and sharing it, and creating an online network of illustrating where those opportunities lie within Macomb County and Southeast Michigan.
Because we got to be honest, by the numbers, we have a challenge, and it is a problem. So Macomb's numbers, I mean, we've got 440,000 people in our workforce, historic highs, relatively low unemployment, 4%, yet we are starting to see the baby boomers retiring out, and we're also challenged with that birth-to-death ratio reversing itself. But yet, in Macomb County alone, I have 44,000 jobs available in every industry sector. So this initiative was to attempt to try to figure out how do we at least attract the talent from outstate to want to come here for one particular profession, but we're going to try to figure out how do we move into other professions to attract people to want to come here. And as JP had mentioned, we can't just do this as a Macomb County thing. It's got to be a regional thing. It's got to be a statewide thing. That's why I'm so excited about this Grow Michigan Together partnership and what the governor is putting forward. And so with that being said, we recognize that Macomb County, we kind of fit hand in glove. When we talk about pure Michigan, make Macomb your home. We talk about the assets that we have to get people to realize it isn't just a Macomb County thing. There are so many things together, because when people are looking for something and they're looking at our websites, it's not just about the job. Think about it, where you live. You live there for a multitude of reasons. The quality of healthcare, access to that. Maybe it's the public safety, the public schools that you have in and around your area. Quality of life is a huge one for us in the state of Michigan, and the opportunities are in abundance here.
Mark, that's been one of the fascinating things early on with the campaign is, as you said, it's just not exploring or clicking a job link and figuring out the salary and the benefits, which is undoubtedly important to job seekers. But when you begin to explore the other components that create that vibrant community, and undoubtedly with us in Macomb County, it starts with that exceptional quality of life and what we're doing even with the freshwater advantages we have.
And I got to do tongue in cheek on this. The freshwater advantage was something that we talk about. Everybody talks about the Great Lakes, but in Macomb County, we have a Great Lake, and it's not recognized as a Great Lake. It's called Lake St. Clair. And I don't know many people that know this, but if you live in Macomb County, you know this. Lake St. Clair is the busiest freshwater lake than any other freshwater lake during the summer months in the entire country. And in fact, maybe even the entire planet. With that being said, we realize we got an asset that we need to promote. There's more recreation going on out there. There's more boating. There's more people that are just out there for pleasure cruising, sailboating. But one of the things we found out that is incredibly important is the fishing opportunities out on Lake St. Clair. And with that being said, we have had a number of fishing tournaments that have been highlighted on ESPN. And these fishermen are the ones that are out there telling us what we have here is an incredible asset. There are fishermen from across the globe that'll say this is the best bass fishery in the entire planet. And so naturally myself, I tried to take advantage of that and marketed it. And so what I did is I let people know that in Lake St. Clair and Macomb County, we have some badass bass in our lakes. And it's not just a Macomb County thing. You think about it, you know, when you talk about Detroit River down to Erie, you talk about St. Clair River out into Lake Huron. Again, this is an asset for Wayne County. It's an asset for St. Clair County. And by the way, it's also an asset for Oakland County. Dave, if you're listening, I got to give you a throw it out there, whatever. Because those ponds over in Oakland County is where we get our bait to fish for those big bass over in Lake St. Clair. So thank you, Oakland County, for being a partner with us in promoting Lake St. Clair. So I know I'm just kidding here, but the reality is JP and I wanted to take stage to kind of make sure that people understand this. We know this conference was put together for a purpose, and it's trying to get people to come together. Put aside your differences, Republican, Democrat, whatever it is. Quit trying to find things quit trying to make things fail. Let's make it happen, because in Macomb County, we brought 27 distinct, unique municipalities to come together to really grow Macomb County. But it's time we get 83 counties in the state of Michigan to start pushing in the same direction to do something very important for one particular issue. And let's do it together, because Macomb County is all in. And let's make it happen in Macomb by make it happen in Michigan by growing Michigan together. Thank you very much.